Hey everyone, I'm Allison.
And I'm Bryce.
And we're Better Half Reviews. And today we are doing our first ever top 10 list.
Most anticipated games.
Woo woo! The games coming out in most likely 2020 or 2021. Just that little caveat.
Yep. And I will say, I have eliminated a couple categories of games.
Oh, really?
Yes. Did you?
Maybe.
So for me, I eliminated any expansions. And I eliminated any future Kickstarters or Kickstarters that aren't funded yet.
Okay. My goal was, as long as they had a 2020 release date or most likely 2021 release date, I went with that. I mostly eliminated expansions.
Mostly?
You'll see what I mean later.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm kind of along the same lines. All right.
Okay.
So with that.
Number 10.
Number 10.
Number 10.
You go first.
Okay. My first one is Lawyer Up.
Oh, he would.
So I am a lawyer by trade, but I don't do litigation like this game is about. So this game, as I understand it, is a plaintiff attorney and a defense attorney kind of battling it out in court. So I'm just kind of interested in seeing the mechanics of the game. I mean, it's lawyers, so how fun could it be? I don't know.
So are you excited to play it because you can do all the lawyery things that you're not necessarily doing right now and not worry about getting sued?
I'm excited. Well, yeah, that's a good point. I'm excited just to see how they interpret kind of the litigation side of lawyering and, how that differs from my knowledge of how the whole process works.
Nice. Okay, so my number 10 is Flourish. It's the same designer as the guy who made Everdell, James A. Wilson, and his wife helped him create this as well. I think it looks really cool, and plus I love Everdell, so I'm gonna look into this game. I know that it's kind of like drafting, like Sushi Go, but opposite. Like, in Sushi Go where you pick one card and pass it, they're doing something different where you keep most of the stuff and pass only a few things. So I'm kind of intrigued just to see what it's like. I'm not sure if it's going to play well at 2, but I do definitely want to know more about it. So I think that's kickstarting in a few days.
Cool. So my number 9 is Cartographer's Heroes.
Ooh. Hey, that's an expansion.
It's a standalone expansion.
Fine.
You don't need the first or the base game to play it.
Well, that's good to know.
Even though you can play with some of the components from it.
Okay.
But we've played Cartographers a couple of times. I just had fun. I don't know too much about the expansion yet, but I'm just excited for it because I enjoyed Cartographers. So that's why I'm looking forward to it.
You just ruined your own list.
What do you mean?
I think that's coming to Kickstarter. Ha!
Oh, is that a Kickstarter?
Mm-hmm.
Dang it. Okay.
All right, we're even. Okay. Okay. So,
should have put other games on my list because
that's okay. we both get. Oh, dang it. I don't know if this one's coming to Kickstarter or not. Well, no. This one's retail.
Well, now I'm
it's okay.
questioning the rest of my list.
We each get one.
I'm pretty sure the rest of my lists have already funded on Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Or have met the funding goal.
Anyway. All right. So my number 9 is Cloud Age.
Never heard of it.
You're welcome.
That does look cool, though.
So
the artwork.
I know the artwork looks really cool. This is an Alexander Pfister game, and he's super popular, but we actually haven't really played any of his. And this is the first one that I'm like, ooh, this looks kind of cool. And so it should be coming out in November. Leave to retail, and it just sounded interesting because it has a campaign mode, but you can also do one-off. So that I think that's good. So that's kind of reminding me of Near and Far. We could do campaign, or you could just do here and there. It has engine building and deck building. So I'm like, hey, that sounds good. And I love the art, so.
Interesting. So my number 8 is Canvas. Um, Honestly, I don't know too much about this game other than some things Allison has showed me. But I know it uses kind of the clear cards, and you kind of build a card, kind of like the same system as like Mystic Veil, sort of, which I like that mechanic. So I'm kind of drawn to that. But it's about just like creating pieces of art and trying to score the highest with those pieces of art. So.
Well, I'm just going to interject here. My number 8 is Canvas as well.
Nice.
So what really drew me to it, because we already own Mystic Veil, but I love painting and art, and Canvas is painting in a board game. And it just kind of seemed like a more like approachable, simpler version of Mystic Veil. Like you still have different like gold cards that make it kind of interesting, but I feel like this one would be a bit better as like a gateway game. And I just think it looks really fun, and they made some solo modes too. So if you're busy, I can still play it.
Yep. And the cool thing is the box can be hung on your wall.
It looks like a piece of artwork.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, pretty cool. All right. That was number 8.
Okay, so my number 7 is Deck of Wonders. And honestly, this probably would have been higher on my list had we not had a fairly late prototype of it. And we could play it like almost anytime we want to right now.
That's true.
So it kind of took some of the anticipation away from it. But I'm still interested in seeing all the final artwork, getting my hands on, the actual game, playing through all of the legacy aspects of it. I know you've played through a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't yet.
I know.
So
and I think it's probably good that you haven't played through the whole thing. Like I played through basically all of it just to make sure I understood the game. I think it's good that you haven't, so that you can like really enjoy the full thing, because I know you were really looking forward to it. So
yeah, and I'm trying not to play through all the legacy aspects of it right now. So
yeah, you can save it. It's okay. I'm sure Dennis will understand.
True.
All right, my number 7, right? 7, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
7 is Endless Winter. So this is a game. Well, okay, if you notice by the cover, if you're familiar with board games, the artist is the Miko, and most of his games really stand out. And that's what drew me to it at first. Like, he's the same artist for like Architects of the West Kingdom and Paladins and Raiders of the North Sea and a bazillion other games. So I thought this looked kind of interesting. I like that it's a different type of theme with like the Ice Age and all of that. And has like worker placement, I believe, and like tiles and dual layer boards and just all these like phenomenal components. And I'm just like, okay. So I guess this one hasn't come to Kickstarter yet, but it's coming very, very soon to Kickstarter, so it should be fulfilling in 2021. Sorry, I've got 2 of those on there. I tried, okay, but I was still really excited for it.
Honestly, I forgot about this game.
I know you did.
But it wouldn't have made my list because of the whole Kickstarter thing.
Well, we
I
all
made
know
one
that's
mistake,
wrong.
one mistake, and you just keep throwing it back at me.
I will. All right, so that's Endless Winter.
So my number 6 is a Kickstarter that funded not too long ago, but one we ultimately didn't back. It is Dead Reckoning. So I am really excited for this game. It has that Mystic Veil type card crafting system. It's about pirates. You go around, you sink other ships, you search for treasure, you get cargo, all that stuff. It looks really cool.
Like a 4X type of game.
Yeah. Just ultimately, it was just, I didn't see us getting it to the table very often. That's why we didn't back it. But I would like to play it. So if someone has it out there, we're going to come over and play it with you guys. So
We need friends first.
well, yeah, that's true.
It's okay. All right. So my number 6 is a game that's actually already out, but they made a collector's edition with an extra expansion and stuff. And it's a game that I had been interested in ever since I heard about it, but I never actually bought it or anything. So when I saw this Kickstarter come around again and it fulfilled and all that, I'm like, I'm getting in on this time. And it is Petrichor. So you play the game. You're a cloud, okay? My notes for this is clouds. I just love it. I think that's so awesome because. Gosh. This is the one where I said it has a one-word explanation. But I mean, I love clouds and I love rain and all that. And so just like you playing a board game as a cloud and like raining on different spots, I'm like, this is a no-brainer for me. I mean, I don't know like everything else about the game and I don't know what the expansions necessarily do, except for in the new one, there's cows and I think they poop or something, but whatever. Clouds, okay?
Pooping cows.
Yeah, well, cows poop. Anyway. And so the components just look really cool and everything, and I convinced Bryce that we should back it.
Yep. This is probably on my short list. I'm excited to play it with Allison. I'm not as enamored with the cloud part of it. But, no, it does look fun.
And he'll probably cream me at this game. That's the thing, like, there's games that I'm, like, really interested in, and I'm like, yeah, I really want this, and in the back of my mind, I know he's going to basically defeat me every single time.
Maybe I'll let you win this one because you're so excited about it.
No, it's okay. You did that to me with some other games, so I still like them. We won't talk about that in this video. Maybe we should make that a whole separate video. Anyway, that was my number 6, Petrichor.
Nice. So my number 5 and number 4, I think, are like interchangeable.
Mine aren't.
Because I'm equally excited for both of these.
Okay.
So
number 5.
Number 5, but also could be number 4.
Just you pick it, deal with it. Number 5.
I'm gonna say Merchants of the Dark Road. So this looks fun. It has you're a merchant and you're collecting goods and trading them and going around doing stuff. I don't know too much.
Dual layer boards, a rondelle system, and really cool looking components and art by Andrew Bosley.
Yeah, the game looks really nice, and what you do in the game looks fun too.
I'm really sad we didn't back it for the Lumi coins because those looked really cool. But yes, this game looks really cool, and it is on my short list. It probably could have been higher, but I put other things instead. But I am super excited about this game.
Yeah.
It's probably only further out on my list because it's not coming as soon as some other things.
Fair enough, fair enough.
All right.
What's your number 5?
Number 5 for me is Tidal Blades. I have been looking forward to this game for a long time. We actually missed the Kickstarter and missed the late pledge, but we got it another way. And that's kind of before we were really doing Kickstarter. And just everything about this game, I love the look of it. And just all the components and everything. And it just seems like a really interesting game with different places and options to go and ways to earn points. And I like the dice drafting system where you can upgrade your dice, where you can either choose to go for like the good or the bad side, and your dice get like kind of lighter and darker in color depending on what you do. And so it just looked really cool, and it should be coming before the end of the year, I hope. Maybe.
So my number 4 is Tidal Blades. But again, it could have been my number 5.
Non-committal.
Those two were just like equal on my scale of most anticipated. But yeah, Tidal Blades, you said most of it. Like, game looks really cool. I like how the player boards have like dials to keep track of your stats as you increase them or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just looks like an overall fun game.
And it's from Skybound Games, and all their components are usually like top notch. So
yeah,
it'll be worth the wait.
Hopefully soon.
Okay, so number 4. My number 4 is another game by Skybound, and it is Wonderland's War. So I'm really excited about this one because, well, I like the theme and the color scheme, and I like that it's similar to Quacks of Quedlinburg with like a bag building system, but it just seemed way more interesting to me. It seemed like there was way more game and less luck, kind of. But it just looked really cool with all the different characters, and you're battling against each other, and it looks like it's even possible to play at 2-player, which is generally what we do. And they are working out a good AI system to make it more interesting.
I was looking at your list.
But yeah, I'm just super excited to get it. Who knows when? Probably, hopefully next year.
Yeah, I'm not as excited about this one. I know there's been like Alice in Wonderland or like Grim Fairy Tale like IP'd games in the past that I've been really excited for and just kind of got.
Public domain, Mr. Lawyer.
But okay.
But anyway, I know what you're saying. There are a lot of Alice in Wonderland stuff out there.
Those type of games that I was excited for and then just kind of got burned in the past. So I'm just being reserved about this one.
Okay. But like we haven't really played like any Alice in Wonderland games really. We have some like Grim Tales and stuff like that, but I think this will be good.
We'll see.
It's going to be good. All right.
So my number 3 might be a surprise because you might think it would be higher on my list.
As in number 1 or as in number 10?
As in like number 1.
Uh-oh. Oh. Okay. I think I have a guess.
What do you guess?
Oh, I don't know.
I thought you said you had to guess.
Does it have a number in it?
Yes. Pandemic Legacy Season 0 is my number 3.
All right.
I'm really excited for this. Like, I've enjoyed the last 2 Legacy games of Pandemic. This one seems like it's going to be a lot of fun, being like a prequel to the other games. But there are just a couple other games I'm more excited for.
Interesting. All right.
So that is my number 3.
And that should be coming out in October, which is very soon. They don't have a date yet, but October. So I'll take it. All right, so that's your number 3. My number 3 is the one where I was talking about technically. There's a game and an expansion. Well, I guess there was Petrichor too. But anyway, regardless of that. It is hopefully coming, if you back the Kickstarter, coming in the next month or 2. It is Viscounts of the West Kingdom. It is the 3rd in the trilogy of the West Kingdom series by Shem Phillips. And I'm super excited because it has like this 3D castle in the middle and this, I don't know how many sides it has, 8 sides or 10 sides board around it. Mm-hmm. And it has like a bit of a rondelle system and just other different options. And with most of his games, there's lots of different paths to victory. And then with that is the Tome Saga that you could get in the Kickstarter, which will be available soon on retail, where you can play all the games kind of together, and you can play them competitively or cooperatively. And I'm really looking forward to it because it sounds like it's really ironed out. There is one for like the North Sea Saga, the Rune Saga, but we don't have all of the North Sea games, so this is the first one that we're going to be able to play all of them. And I'm just really excited. Plus, it just looks really cool.
Yeah, this game made my short list for sure. Honestly, I don't know why it didn't make my top 10. It was really, really close.
Why didn't it?
Just other games are more anticipated.
Mm-hmm. And there's also a solo mode with like 4 different unique AIs, which is really cool. So anyway, I could keep going.
So my number 2 is kind of a cheat.
What?
Because this game already came out. But it's a 2nd edition. Or like a collector's edition or deluxe edition or something.
Got it.
And this is War of Whispers. This looks really cool. You're kind of betting on kingdoms to win and beat out other kingdoms, and it's I don't know, it kind of has that like 4X type feel where you're watching it play out. You're not necessarily one of the factions trying to dominate. You're just trying to help a faction win, help some other factions do better than others.
And those are secret. Like, technically,
Yes,
the other
it's all
players
secret.
don't know who you want to do well and who you don't want to do well.
It just looks like a really cool game.
We didn't back in.
I know we didn't back it. We should have.
I mentioned it several times. There's only so many times I'm going to push. Unless it's some of these other ones that I really pushed. All right. So my number 2 is a game I've been looking forward to for a long time. I like a lot of the other games that this person has put out. If you can't tell, most of his games are at the forefront of our collection. Not the owls, the games. This is Sleeping Gods. It's coming out hopefully really soon-ish, before the end of the year. It's by Red Raven Games. It kind of seems like his capstone of everything, like Above and Below and Near and Far. Really feel like everything's been building up to Sleeping Gods. And it just looks like, I don't know. It's huge. There's a big map to go through and so much story to kind of like work through. And I love that about his games. And like, I thought Near and Far was really great with a campaign. And I feel like this is going to be like even more of a step up.
Mm-hmm. And also, I just love his artwork and his art style, like, and how that's just stayed pretty consistent across a lot of his games.
That's true.
And Sleeping Gods is like continues that style. But yeah, I'm excited for the campaigns as well.
It'll be really good.
I thought Near and Far was pretty good with the campaign, but should be better from what I've heard.
Yes, definitely.
So, my number 1 has already been mentioned on this list.
I think I know what it is.
It is Viscount.
Wait, what?
Just kidding.
Okay, I'm like, no, it's Sleeping Gods.
It's Sleeping Gods. I am really excited for Sleeping Gods.
You lied to me?
And I just really like Ryan Lockett and the games he puts out, so I'm just excited for all the reasons you said.
Thanks.
You took everything, so.
I'm sorry. I'm just really excited about it, obviously, but you should be more excited.
I am.
It's your number 1.
But you already said everything, so.
You're welcome. All right, so my number 1, do you know what it is?
I feel like I should, but no.
Okay. I've been looking forward to this forever. Even before it really even had the proper name.
Because they kept calling it Season 3.
Pandemic Legacy Season 0. So, I mean, there may be other games that I may be technically more excited about, but like what Bryce was saying before when he talked about it, we just had so many good experiences with Legacy 1 and Legacy 2, or Season 1, Season 2, whatever, that I'm ready to see like how everything came to be, and this is a prequel, so that's kind of interesting. I wasn't expecting that, but from the tiny bits that you can see, it's like building the backstory of things that you've already kind of seen. So I just think it's going to be really interesting, and we've had so much fun with the other ones, and it'll be interesting to play via Zoom or however we're going to do it with our usual gaming group who have done all the other seasons with. So I don't know how that'll go, but I'm still super excited about it.
Yeah, we moved since we played Season 2, so we're going to have to get our group back together and try to play that.
Just fly on out. That'll be easier, okay?
So, what are some of your honorable mentions?
Let's see. Okay, so I did have just like a straight up expansion listed, and it is City of Crowns. It's an expansion for Paladins of the West Kingdom. It just looks really cool. I love Paladins, so having a little bit more sounded good. Although it'll be a table hog, but that's okay. There's also Queen Bee, which is a game that we should be getting probably in like a couple weeks or so, or a month. And it's a family-friendly. Okay, this is gonna sound wrong, but it's a family-friendly take that battle style game. But it seems like light and fun, and there's tons of bee miniatures, which we don't really have too many games with like a lot of minis. And this one looked really cool, and it just, I don't know, it just seems fun and like a really good gateway game, and I'm excited to show it to family.
Yeah. I liked how it was a passion project for the guy that, or the family that made it, really.
Definitely. That's also what made me really want to back it too. Just I wanted to support small business, small designers trying to come out. No cheating. I know we're done with our official list, but still, okay. Also there's Spirits of the Forest. That game is technically there, it's already out, but it's out of print, and they were running it again with an expansion, and I came across this game by accident. I was trying to find some other game that had spirits in it, and I saw this, and I was like, oh, this looks really cool, and then I found out there was a Kickstarter starting in like a week, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna go look at this, and so we backed it.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised this wasn't higher on your list, or didn't make your list, I should say.
It probably could have, maybe switched with like Flourish or something, but I don't know. It was just a little bit further out before it comes, and Flourish is by the guy who made Everdell, so I just kind of bumped it up. I don't know. Probably could have switched them. There is Merchants of the Dark Road, which Bryce has already mentioned, and it's on his list, and I'm really excited about it. It looks really cool. And Deck of Wonders.
On my list as well.
It's probably didn't make my list as much because I've played the whole game, so I don't.
You kind of have that anticipation's kind of not there.
The thing I'm most anticipating about that is the artwork.
So I kind of have a lot of runner-ups, just because I did take out all the expansions. So I have like 3 expansions here.
Okay, all right.
So first one is City of Crowns. I like how there's going to be another like player power, just kind of expand some of your options, I guess. But not much is known about that yet. The next expansion, we actually haven't even played the base game of this yet, which is Rurik, Stone, and Blade.
Yeah.
But I don't know. The base game looks cool. We're gonna play it sometime. We have it, and so I'm just kind of anticipating that.
Yeah.
I will like the expansion too.
I didn't put that on my list at all because we hadn't played the base game yet. If we had maybe made this list a week later and we had played the game, then probably could have been on my short list because I mean it is just a straight up expansion. But yeah, I'm excited for it too. I just want to play Rurik first.
So this next game we actually haven't even played.
Okay.
The base game either.
So this is an expansion.
And this is an expansion, even though it is a standalone expansion. This is Set a Watch, Swords of the Coin.
Oh, got it. Okay.
I don't know too much about the games because I just kind of discovered it as I was doing research for this, but it looks really cool. So I don't know. I'd be interested in kind of picking up Set a Watch and trying it. Now, these 2 are actually like legitimate runner-ups that could have made the list. First one is Wonderland's War. Even though I'm kind of cautiously optimistic about it, I am still kind of...
That's very lawyery of you.
I'm still, looking forward to it. And then Age of Atlantis.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a 4X game. You're different ruling houses in Atlantis, and you're trying to take over, gain influence over the city. And at the same time, everyone's kind of like battling Poseidon to stop the waters from taking over the city as well.
Yeah, that one looked kind of cool.
And then the last 2 that I have...
There's more. Okay.
Well, these were eliminated because they haven't had the Kickstarters yet.
Okay.
So, first is Dice Command. It's a kind of abstract strategy game where you're rolling dice and then you're progressing those dice kind of across the battlefield to the opponent's side.
Well, it is abstract, but I feel like the theme really went well with what you were doing in the game.
Yeah. Honestly, when I was playing it, like I didn't realize it was an abstract game until like after like thinking about it afterwards. Because you're right, the theme does go really well with the game. And And then the last game was Last Light.
That's a Euro game, right?
Total Euro game.
Just kidding, Roy. Sorry.
No, it's a 4X game. It's kind of a lighter 4X game.
Space theme.
Yes, it's space theme. And it's cool because like the planets rotate. So you're not just attacking the people next to you, you're attacking people like across from you, and basically the whole board is gonna battle with each other.
That's cool.
So yeah, it's kind of cool. And that's it.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Okay. Like my short list had like
Your short list was actually short.
I had like 20 games I had to dwindle it down to, and I thought I had a decent amount, but apparently I didn't.
My short list is almost as long as my actual list.
Nice. All right, so let us know down below in the comments. Did you have anything in common with any of our games that we picked? Is there something else that you're looking forward to? Did you have any overlap with us? Something else we missed entirely?
It's possible.
Nah. Yeah, it is. Totally possible. All right. Well, I'm Allison.
And I'm Bryce.
And we're Better Half Reviews. Happy gaming.
Have fun.